you say this nigga name? Wisniewski? Okay. I'm from the inner city, bro.
Newski. There we go. Front and back. Might at least go to that way we can get everybody and everybody can be there. That should be picking up everything right now. Are we ready? We already recording, so I'll do it. What's cracking, Chiefs Kingdom? It is a beautiful Saturday night, and we ready to talk some Chiefs football. I got Phil. I got Stubbs in the house. What's cracking?
Oh, no, you.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm in there, but I ain't in there. You know,
Okay,
I'm in
okay.
there.
Y'all can throw some like feedback.
Yeah,
you
know it,
talking to somebody behind the screen. Shit, what's going on? I'll edit all this shit out anyway. What's going on, Chiefs Kingdom? It is a beautiful Saturday night. We ready to talk some football. As always, I got my boys Phil and my boy Stubbs in the house, ready to talk some Raiders football.
Yeah.
Well, the first thing, it's Raiders week. I mean, what's more need to be started the conversation with that shit? Excuse me.
I think it'd be cool.
You think we should?
Nah, I think it leave it in there. People are just go with the
Just go with the flow.
Talk.
Because
You know
I'm
what I mean?
drinking.
We man, it's
yeah,
talk.
Fuck it.
we'll clean it up on the other.
Yeah, fuck it.
We'll be fine. It's Raider week.
I know what I don't want to see is them let him throw that ball like he did last time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Last time they gave us a nice little loss and had the nerve to circle our building. You know, I guess they had gas to waste.
Yeah.
You know,
They ain't going to the Super Bowl, so
They celebrated big, didn't they? Right around the stadium.
yeah, that's the closest they gonna get
and
to bus rides.
And I think there's something we have never seen before. Mahomes actually get angry.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot of sports media is bringing that up, and that is a good point. I've never seen him actually smirk like he was pissed because he's always had his touch. He's magic, as they call it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even when he lose games,
he
isn't that big a deal.
He'll get that. Oh, I'll get him next time.
Yeah.
Attitude.
Yeah.
He was actually pissed.
But you could get the sense, like even with the game, like how they won, it's bullshit because it's just miscommunication. If you look at that time period, Snead just got hurt. He had hurt his collarbone. What's the young cat? Second year corner. He had the cast on his hand. Ward.
Ward.
Yeah. So we were going through a lot of transitioning, like trying to put people.
Up.
You had Matthew down in the box. They kind of had him as a hybrid safety, linebacker, corner type position. So he was out of position. And Sorensen, as much as I love him, when you have athletic wide receivers and tight ends, he struggles. He's not a man-to-man type of individual. So they just caught us in a position where we just took him for granted. If there was 5 more minutes left on that clock, we would have tied the game up and it would have went to overtime. It just, at the last minute, we started sparking and it was just a little bit too late.
So I will give it to them a little bit, though, because they have not caught up, but the whole goal in each division is basically to beat the best team that's in your division and the best team in our division in the whole conference. So everybody right now is trying to catch up to us, beat us.
Yeah.
They literally make their team is built to try to beat us. Because that's what they have to do. So that's why they were able to get to us the way they are, because their defensive line is actually built to go against our guys and beat them. And
Now, when you talk about built to take them on, with the whole COVID thing, do you think that still applies? Because they said they got 8 of them back as of right now.
Not everybody. So that's
not everybody. 2 of them was positive.
Okay.
Out of the 10, 2 were positive, but the rest of them, I think, were basically cleared.
That's gonna have an effect, but
does that affect that?
I mean, maybe with I don't think any of them were receivers or anything like that. So I mean, I don't think it would be too much more just their defensive guys and linemen. Might a little bit of their meshing, but at this point in the year, I don't really see that messing with the timing too much.
Because I feel like I think we was just at an off game for real. I think we were like, man, we beat the Raiders so sweet all the time. The last 2 times before that was like 30-point wins. So you come in like, it's just
you take that game for granted because
they
had beat us since 2013.
Right. And the way we beat them was so clean.
That's exactly what it is.
It wasn't just
started
like beating
playing
them.
their game though. We wasn't playing our game. You know what I mean? I know he say that a lot. Like,
so clean, like scoring 4 touchdowns in a single quarter, like that. That's an insult to a team. Like y'all ain't nothing. Y'all ain't shit.
The thing about it though, it was a perfect storm because as successful as Mahomes has been in his young career, they're starting to find out that if you can get pressure with 3 or 4 and go man, he has difficulty. He could break down the zone, but now he's learning on the fly how to deal with man coverage.
Exactly.
You know, he can
When the
rely
pressure
on to be
comes.
this man. And you can see in the beginning of the season, he was trying to spread the ball, try to get it to everybody. Now he has his focal point.
Right.
It's Travis Kelce first, then it's Tyreek Hill,
Right.
and then everybody else. Early in the season, he was trying to make the best play. Or sometimes he get caught up in himself and try to make the big play
Yeah.
to take control of the game. And sometimes you have to take what's in front of you and live with that. So now they messed up. So now they play some games where people took that blueprint that the Raiders had to get that win, and we're still 8-1.
Yeah.
So that's development and growth because he hasn't lost any other games from that. So I don't see Oakland really as a threat outside of it being a rivalry game. You never know what's going to happen between Kansas City and Oakland.
Now, talking about the wide receivers, hold on, my bad, bro. I'm sorry. But talking about the wide receivers, Sammy's out.
Yeah.
And who's replacing him?
I mean, he's been out for a while.
Yeah,
but they're like-
Production there.
But they were like hyping it up to where he may have came back because Fisher came back
Yeah.
from his injury.
I think that's a bigger deal than it is Sammy being out because if you could get Mahomes time,
Yeah.
he's going to get it to Hardman or to a Pringle or to a Kemp.
And we're not the biggest Fisher
Yeah.
fans, but he is literally better than nothing. At this
No,
point.
Fisher's dope. We have to get away from that because he's on Von Miller, when those games come up.
And I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a good crash test dummy for Vaughn. Cause y'all saw the Super Bowl. Bosa beat that boy up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like this
But
is
you
my
talking,
bitch.
that's a different scenario though, because that whole D line, it's every man. You can't double on anybody.
That's true.
So that's an exceptional situation. And if you look at most of the teams in our division, they have exceptional D. San Diego,
Yeah.
D lineman, Bosa on the Chargers.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? You go with Oakland. They have good D linemen, athletic D linemen.
Quietly good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it isn't the thing with Eric, he started out slow, and I think the biggest issue that people have is that he was the number 1 pick. I think that's why people are so hard on him. If he was number 2, or if he
Because
was,
let's be honest, the
Let's get some
possibilities. Because the
Yeah,
one,
now,
because you have
is he hasn't gotten, and to me, he hasn't gotten any stronger. His technique hasn't gotten any better since. I mean,
I
after
have
maybe
to
like
agree,
year 2,
man.
year 3.
I can't agree with that.
Like,
I
I say he needs some help. He needs some help.
He had
You know
that
what I mean?
read because of that man. When he's not on the field, if you go back to last year, go back to those games that he were missing.
right.
It was
Yeah,
a huge
or-
difference.
or
And
he
that's the
was
thing.
Not cutting it.
Yeah.
And it's
So you have to we're used to Wooly Rope. We're used to
That's a
Will
good.
Shields.
That's a great standard.
We're used to Brian Waters.
Yeah.
But everybody's not going to be a Hall of
Yeah,
Famer that touched
yeah.
this team.
Hey, but
Yeah.
you say that, but then we have Jeff Schwartz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not that now. We can obviously see that because he's at the peak of his end. But when we had 3 or 4 years ago, Jeff Schwartz is like the standard of tackles.
Yeah.
And we just wanted a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Shit. And we couldn't get them. That's unfortunate. But that's what I mean by the 1-1. Especially that year, there were so many possibilities.
Mac.
Could have got Khalil.
Ah.
Got Khalil.
Didn't need it at that
Yeah.
time. We had Houston.
We didn't. But I'm just saying, who else? Not Julio, but
But everybody can say that every single year.
that's true.
Because
It's football.
where did Mahomes fall?
Right after Buffalo.
He landed at 10.
Yeah.
Going back and looking at his career now, we be like, number 1 pick, hands down,
Yeah.
easy team.
Well,
I'm building my
I'm
team
just-
around
not
that
the
dude.
way they were talking about it, talking he had no footwork and all that.
Yeah, but
nonsense.
they break down every player like that.
yeah.
I love him, buddy.
Yeah, he still has issues with that from time, and Andy Reid hasn't down
Learning
his back.
when to run.
But
shit.
what he became, nobody really saw. There's some players where you can see the strengths, and at that time in college, Fisher did his thing. It's not like a bust like Matt Ryan with the Chargers. Not Matt Ryan, but Ryan Lee with the Chargers. We're not talking about Eric Fisher being that type of guy. You know what I mean? But he's come in, came in at a bad time where the coach they had at that time told him to drop weight. They had all the offensive linemen drop weight. Then he got hurt.
That's always a bad idea.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
You want your
At all.
ropes. You want
As a
really
lineman.
ropes. You
But
want
even
big
since then, he
400.
hasn't really seemed like. I guess he says on the offseason he builds his cars in his garage.
Yeah, dude.
I know
You don't
gotta
work
take
out.
your time off,
Yeah.
but like yourself bigger, like you don't
Like
seem to.
it's
get
like that's why I'm so
stronger
hard on
and
Chris
more
Jones,
shape,
man. Like
Oh Jesus.
I want to like Chris Jones,
God.
regardless of what people think. I want to like him, but for how much we paying you, how much you boast about yourself,
Yeah.
you should be the man. You should be like, oh crap, here comes Chris Jones again.
But when you have the
Like
growing
this should be
issues
his,
that he
especially the
has,
teams we played.
have you seen his pro day?
We go back.
He has the same issue every year because of that thing. He got a growing issue, and when he's healthy, and even now coming back
Wear
at
a cup,
50%.
God damn it.
Take that shit up or something.
Right.
Tape it to your leg, yo. Compression sleeve on it.
Yeah, for real, bro.
Tape it up.
Yeah, take that motherfucker up.
But even with him being at 75%, he completely, because there was games where he was out of there and people ran all over us.
Right.
Everybody, and I,
That's usually to the outside though.
Yeah.
no, it was in the middle, in the beginning of the season when he was out. They went straight
straight
in the
up,
middle, straight up the gut.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do
But
anything
this year or
fancy.
last year?
This year.
Well, that's because we haven't had Sanders in there though.
Yeah, Saunders.
Pennell
Pennell is
in
the.
there. Saunders and Pennell, they
They are
the
the
few
club.
games that we did have Chris out and they were in there.
They were big.
Yeah.
The run stoppage was
But if you don't
tremendous.
have those guys, you have to have Chris Jones.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
he's going to take
I'm
a
not
double team.
denying his skill. I'm
Yeah.
never
Take two
denying his
people
skill.
at a time.
You will
Every
never
time.
hear me say that Chris
That's
Jones is a
one
bad
thing.
player.
Yeah.
It's just the potential he
That's
could
one
be.
thing we
It's just
had
like,
to really notice.
if you just had that Aaron Donald drive, you would be better than him.
But that's one thing.
You
we're
would be
Aaron
better
Donald
than him.
is a different monster, bro.
But that's what I'm saying, though. If
Chris
you
is
tra-
getting
if you,
a lot of double teams and triple teams.
I'll give him that. That's what I'm saying.
And at one point in time, Donald had Sue on the squad for a couple of years. So Sue, you know what I mean? So it was like if you look at Donald's numbers, they've dropped off since Sue has been gone. So you have to look at who's your defensive coordinator. We forget that he had just got Spags last year.
Right.
We had a defensive coordinator that cost us the Super Bowl the year before. That puts people out of position. You know,
it's cool. Stay the same fucking formation
yeah.
every time.
No, shit.
Third.
The Oakland game that I hate. It was the year before in Oakland, where it was 4th and 18. He put everybody in 6-back prevent defense and let them catch it underneath and get the first down, and that's how they ended up winning that game in Oakland. So there's a lot of things that factor into Chris Jones' number at the time.
You know, funny story about him. You know, he's the defensive coordinator of now, right? The Falcons.
That explains a lot.
He's the
No wonder they look like the Chiefs did.
one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And they were good. Like, they have a
they
decent
They were good the year
had a
before.
decent
Yeah.
team.
They were on that rise. You hired him.
trash.
Somehow you got one of the worst defenses in the league. I don't know what happened. Magic, maybe. Who fucking knows?
That's what he did to you.
But when we talk about the Raiders, a lot of people want to put Mahomes in the vengeance mode. Is he in vengeance mode, or is he just like, man, I gotta win?
Mahomes,
Because they can't be separate.
Mahomes is the GOAT. And
Are
now
you
he's
giving him
a
GOAT
step-
already?
Fuck yeah. It's just a matter of time. The only thing that's going to stop him from being that is health. That's it. The dude has already showed his skill set. And then people don't, he's not even in the prime of his career. He hasn't fully he's still learning.
He is only 25.
He's still perfecting his craft, even with throwing the ball.
Yeah, he's still learning better touch.
Yeah.
Still learning how to read the
Footwork,
defenses
I mean,
perfectly.
Footwork,
Everything.
all those different things. He hasn't even hit his max.
Right.
Been just being strategic. He hasn't got to the Tom Brady of, you know what, I don't have to rely, because Tom Brady doesn't have the strongest arm. He doesn't have the greatest, but he ran a 4.9 40-yard dash. The
Was
dude,
it even that?
it wasn't even, I think it was like, actually it was 5 something.
I think it was a 5 something.
Yeah.
He's Pat even call his own plays.
So
though?
once he be able to break down,
Well,
the
he's
defense-
because he's a ring gym. He's a field gym.
Right.
He can see things and perceive things. That's why, like when we played him in the playoff or that playoff game, we gave him 2 minutes and he was happy as fuck.
Right.
He's like, oh, 2 minutes?
That's what I'm saying.
Huh?
But you remember
I
Peyton
thought
and all
they
them
was
used to
like a
call
buck.
their own
2
plays.
minutes?
Like, nah, we ain't
I got
coming out.
this.
Like, we ain't coming out.
Because we all saw that look on his face. 2 minutes? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, he's right, too, because he's going to do it.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to do it. It's like, and now Mahomes has that kind of
Yeah.
look.
Because he has, when you have a bond, man, it's rare to have. How many years was Andy Reid in the league with Philly?
14.
Then he came to
15.
Kansas City. It was just on the cusp. But Pat is the perfect quarterback for his mind.
Oh, yeah.
And the way they
yeah.
mesh,
Yeah.
it's on the real. Look at the second half adjustments. We complained about that for years. Regardless of who, they don't make adjustments. They can't. If we got behind, we knew pretty much the game was over. Even if we got close, we knew that defensively we weren't going to stop them. They were going to get a field goal, to touchdown, to seal the game, and we would have enough time, but we didn't have what we needed. Andy has, we could be down by 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes left. And we know that we still have a chance to win the game. It's not even just him. When you have Andy Reid, you have a Tyreek Hill, you have
Hardman,
a Watkins winning healthy, you have a Hardman, you have now Bell in the backfield, you have Calera. You have all these. Yeah. Nothing's impossible.
Options.
Yeah, it's a lot of options.
Options. Oh yeah.
So you're gonna
So
have
you
those.
basically saying that it's not revenge for him. He's just trying to win the game.
No, it's revenge. He's gonna want to make a statement.
For real.
That could go 2 different ways.
I think that the players are gonna want to make the statement, but Andy and everybody just gonna make them. It's gonna just be business as usual. They're gonna want to make a. They're going to make a statement with it, but I don't think they're going to overly do it. You might have some subtle celebrations after some later touchdowns or something in the game, but
I'm gonna tell you this.
Like from what Pat was saying, what he was just saying,
Watch
like
the
if you don't have that fire in you, you're in the wrong business. You're
Oh,
not
yeah.
in the wrong, you're not
Oh,
in
yeah.
the right sport.
Watch that locker room after the game. Watch them. How about those? I'm telling you,
They're gonna go nuts like after the game, but they're not gonna do it. Around the
Oh,
same.
yeah.
They're just gonna hop in that bus and dip out.
Nah, they gonna dance on them. Y'all see the video when we played Carolina or whatever, and the defense was kicking it on them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. They're gonna make a statement. It's gonna be out there. Andy is gonna be vocal, cause they took offense when that happened. And you look, we as athletes.
All right, bro. I'm putting you in the video. He said go with the flow, so I'm going with the flow.
Yes, sir. That's a
Yes.
But
We the background people.
What?
What?
Oh, okay. It's got what all over it?
Sprite.
Oh, well, it might smell better now. It smells like dogs now.
He said it by
whether it's high school, whether it's college, if you have an individual that you have a rivalry with, where they compare you, when I was in college, there's a players that, they very similar. They're going to do, he's going to do this, we expecting them. That gets you amped.
Oh yeah.
If that player gets the best of you in the previous game and you got a second opportunity to see them, you marking that date on the calendar.
Oh yeah.
You can
Especially
say,
when they shouldn't have beat you.
yeah.
Oh
especially
yeah.
when
The
they
last
should
game
not
after the last game, I know they coming back. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's some energy there. They're going to say the right thing because Andy Reid.
He's him.
He's him.
He's the I'm gonna eat a cheeseburger.
You got to pay attention to
I love
Kelsey's
you.
interviews because Andy allowed the players to be themselves.
Right. He doesn't.
Kelsey is letting everybody know we ain't bullshitting. We ain't forgot.
I'm surprised Frank hasn't said anything. That's why I tell people. That's why I've been telling people my little things that I do, which y'all should watch. That's why I tell people on my little thing. Frank might be my favorite player because that dude, he don't care. He don't give a damn.
He don't. Yeah.
He'll tell you like it is. Like, bro, y'all can eat it. We the best.
But Frank then got to
I'm
the point to where he
surprised.
understands it's a time and a place. Last year, he did a lot of vocal stuff because he was trying to establish the identity of the defense.
That's true.
First year there, I need to be a leader. I need to defend these guys. And until we learn this system and get to the place where we need to be, I need to pump him. And that's pretty much what he did. He's a big physical dude. He's from LA. He's from Cali. So he brought that mentality. And then you have the Honey Badger, same thing. I'm going to lead by example. This year, you don't have to do that. I'm going to see you on Sunday, and I'm going to put hands on you. And that's what he's going to do.
I mean, that's all that should be done.
Yep.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially after the last game, it's time to get answers now.
Don't worry, y'all. That's why I have good editing software. I can edit out sounds and everything all around us. But I want them to have the attitude of vengeance, but I get it if they think it's just. So you basically
No,
saying
they're gonna have, but they're gonna try to contain themselves. They're just gonna want them to stay professional. But they're gonna let it out and go with it.
So I guess the question needs to be asked then, like Phil asked. So I'm gonna ask you first. Are we hitting 50 on them?
Be close.
That's that thing right
No. You got yay or nay, sir.
I think
I want to say yes, but I mean, if you look at the production of each team this year, our offense in a whole ain't much higher than theirs. I think ours is 4th altogether, and theirs
Hey,
would be
close that
14th.
camera.
So we're about in the pack. Defense.
No. Yeah, use the close
Their
up.
defense production is down.
Now the close up thing is right there. It's the metal bar. Right there. See it? Yeah. Now look at the screen. You should be able. Don't get us too close. Get us all. If you can get us all in front.
Yeah, if you look at the productions of offense and defense as a whole, their defense is down at like 17th, I think, and ours is 14th.
Yeah.
Same thing with the offense. Their running game is great. They got the 4th ranked running game. Their main running back Jacobs has like 700 yards, a couple touchdowns. Their second guy is about the same. I think they're all together about 1,000 yards. So, I mean, they got a good running game, which is our weakness. Time of possession. So they're gonna try to do that same thing, keep the ball away from us. So when we do score, it's gonna have to be quick. And but what separates it, of course, is the quarterback play. I mean, Stubbs is up there, 4th ranked quarterback with yardage and all that. I mean, everything else is number 1. And you got 25 touchdowns, the 1 interception. I think Carr's is like 16-2.
Something like that. Because he doesn't throw. He basically plays it safe.
He runs now.
It's like an Alex Smith.
He runs now.
Basically, they stole our plan from 2015 and running with that.
Yeah.
And I guess that's working for them because they're 6-3. So here's another question. Even talking, matter of fact, Phil, you didn't even answer it. Are they hitting 50 on them? I'm gonna ask you.
At first, I was very confident in them getting 50, but then when you think about it, it's still a robbery game.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Emotions, everything, yeah.
They're gonna still.
So y'all saying no?
20-30.
It's not.
I say it's gonna be 41-27. Is what I'm looking at. I think we're gonna get close. The thing about it is, if we get a big enough jump, I don't think offensively the defense is gonna be ready. I think Andy's gonna pull starters.
Get them big hits that they did.
No, that's not gonna happen. Especially with Snead.
I'm looking for Dirty Dan to step up again. So
I don't think this is game for Dirty Dan.
So you saying
it's too Waller's too good. They have athletic running back.
They're tight end.
Yeah,
their receivers are like.
He's gonna struggle. I'm hoping to see Thornhill a lot more, man. Thornhill.
Like you told me earlier before we started recording that they got Snead.
They're gonna be light with him because they don't want to just throw him in there.
So you think they're gonna take his time with him?
Yeah, they might throw him in for a
It all
couple plays,
depends because he
how
was
he feels,
starting to get there prior to that bye.
Yeah, because before he got injured.
Yeah,
he was rising.
I think, and he's a rookie, so he very well could be ready to go. And Andy, if you look over, even with Justin Houston back in the day, Tom Bali, he proceeds with caution. Even if a guy's ready, he's gonna give them extra time. Even with Watkins, I think Watkins could have practiced a few weeks ago, but he's like, I know you have a history again. Yeah, he takes his time. Let's win with what we have. We're not trying to win a regular season championship.
Right.
We're trying to get to the Super Bowl. So if Snead is going to be ready, like even at the beginning of the season, people thought that he was going to be used sparingly.
He ate this taco.
I knew it. My
God
bad.
damn.
My bad.
Sorry, y'all. My dog ate Phil's taco.
That's my
Hey, Bud said I'm gonna be in the camera. I'm gonna be in the camera one way all night.
He gonna eat his taco. You don't eat. Dude's taco.
Bud said, behind y'all eating the taco on camera.
And by the way, if y'all don't know, we have a thing every year where we call Friendsgiving. You know, it's like the weekend before Thanksgiving where we all hang out, and eat tacos. That's right. We get together and eat tacos together. So that's something. So happy Friendsgiving to all of y'all.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
COVID edition.
COVID edition.
This is actually my first time being invited, so it's pretty
Happy
dope.
Friendsgiving. Well, there's not 10 people in here.
They got space over there.
Dogs don't count. So.
I was wanting to say it was going to be a blowout, but with how evenly matched the production's been from each team this year, and it's, of course, like I was saying, they build their team to go against us.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like everybody else in the league right now, even the Ravens,
They
are building
spend
their
money
team to try to beat us. 'Cause
to get
how
like
That's
that.
what changed my
Yeah.
mind. This dude is real
So it's-
studious. So once he said that, I was like, that completely like they are.
Like, especially the defenses. We're like the 13th ranked defense. There's like 16, 17.
Yeah.
On the production
Yeah.
that we let up on each, and on passing and rushing, about the same. Like,
Yeah.
Comes down to those lines though, man. That O line, that D line,
They
it
have to
comes
get
down
that
to the
pressure.
lines, to putting that pressure on them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about, you know. Putting that pressure on Mahomes.
That's gonna be tremendous. That's gonna be huge. Either side of it.
Yeah.
If we're able to get to Carr and even have a defensive presence to stop some of the runs instead of it being 2nd and 3,
I don't even
get him
think
in
we got
7th.
to him last game, did we?
No,
No,
I
I
kept
don't
saying
think so.
more pressure,
Yeah.
more pressure. We was leaving them. He was
tried.
throwing perfect passes.
Yeah,
like
we
we,
sent
was
the
leaving
blitz
them
and
too
everything.
open.
Like, you
Like,
look at it, we was missing so many players.
oh yeah, we
We
were.
missing
And I didn't
a
look
lot of
until you
players.
started saying that.
Yeah.
All the injuries,
Yeah.
Josh, all the
Lord,
injuries we
James
had and
been hurt.
everything. I wasn't looking at it like that. I'm like, man, what's
Sneak,
going
yeah.
on? Like corners was missing.
And that was
like,
the first game where Ward had played with the cast. That bitch cast.
Hitchens has been getting banged up a couple games too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he ain't the greatest of them.
But yeah, he
Oh,
get up
shoot.
there.
Okafor.
Neiman,
Yeah.
We looked at that. Okafor is slated to be able to play. That's gonna be
is
huge.
that word?
That's-
That is a game changer.
Yeah, that's a complete game changer. Because you have Frank and Okafor.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could
Oh,
put,
yeah.
because
Big
Chris Jones,
beast.
everybody complained, past few years, he's been having to get out of position because of injury. They put him on DN.
I will always give a player some kind of slack when they're out of their element.
Yeah.
Because it's the reason why people give Dan Sorensen so much crap. It's like, oh, he doesn't do this. Well, he's not in his
Thornhill or
element.
somebody will get
Oh yeah, oh
Put him
yeah.
in
He's
his
never in
element.
position, but he's
And
always ready.
You see what he does.
Yeah, he's always ready though.
Yeah.
We're light on our corners. The corners keep getting hurt. Okay, so who goes in when you're light on corners? One of your safeties.
Safety,
Exactly.
yeah.
And he's out of place.
But that's not
And
his
people
thing.
want to, and people
Tight
get
ends have
mad.
gotten too fast.
Hey,
for him
Dan,
to
you
stick
should have
with
got
the
him.
Big tight ends.
But they don't practice as a corner. They practice as safeties. So and
That's
they're
why I
two
said leave him
different
as a
things.
safety though. He's smart. He watches the ball, man. He
Yeah.
can get there.
To be honest,
interceptions.
I would
hits.
try him at a hybrid linebacker position. If you don't have anybody that's fast enough that's going to go downhill and tackle, you know what I mean? As long as you can keep the offensive lineman off of him because he's too small when it comes to that. But he's better than Neiman.
Yeah.
Oh
At
yeah.
that
Oh
position.
yeah. Oh way
You know
better.
what I mean? And I thought Neiman was going to be good because he come from a football family.
Stubbs,
Yeah.
Stubbs.
First games we've seen him in that precinct.
Yeah,
this
like,
guy
yeah.
seems good. He's wearing the right number too. All right.
He
Like,
might
No.
have to
Nah.
I be hearing them every
Same
week.
thing with
Steven,
O'Daniel.
get him out of
It's
there.
some preseason Super Bowlers where he's like, oh man, they going to be game
Well,
busters.
same thing with O'Daniel. We thought.
Yeah.
I still see it with him. I guess he just doesn't
I think
get
he
the
needs to
coverage or
learn a
something
little
with him
more
where he's
though.
not-
Man.
because by now Spags would have started.
Yeah.
I mean, because Snead's a rookie and he started him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he balled out.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's talking about when it comes to defense. As much as we get mad of that bend don't break attitude of defense, it's effective.
Yeah.
That's the one of the main
And then
things,
at different times they're optimistic and they get
Yeah.
turnovers.
And they get the turnovers.
Yes.
That's one
Speaking
thing
of that,
comes
Dirty Dan.
is our linebackers. I feel they're not trash, but they're just not instinctual. You had DJ in there, and your good linebackers, they blow up the running gap.
Yeah.
They'll give themselves up. Even if I'm not the guy making the tackle, I'm blowing that hole up from the
Yeah,
second.
that's real.
Our linebackers don't do that. You watch
Yeah.
tape, you see them, they're just standing there,
Standing
waiting,
there.
watching
Oh,
that
man.
gap and waiting for the guy to come through. No, you have to blow that
Waiting
hole
on
up.
him
We
and
were
shit.
talking about
Quit
that
waiting
after
on
the
him. Go get
Carolina
him.
game.
So they're getting
Where-
into that second level line
Yeah.
there, getting into that second level blocking corners and safeties, and then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Screwed.
We had that with the Panthers when Bridgewater's got that fourth and was it 15?
13, 14, 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I still
Neiman
think
was
about
right
that.
there, man.
Yeah.
He was looking at
Oh
it
yeah, he
and
got
stood
mad.
there.
I remember that.
I'm like, dude, move, man, go after. Even if you miss it, you make him go to the left or to
Yeah,
the right
yeah,
and get
yeah.
somebody else off.
It's still you stopping them. Even if
Yeah.
you grab them, you
Exactly.
distract them anyway. Like you stop them. Like
It shouldn't have been that close.
nah, it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all feel like we have? Are y'all confident in this win?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Please.
Oh yeah. The way that they embarrassed us last time, it's not happening again.
Yeah, you feeling that?
I'm feeling that.
You have to validate that aura. The Chiefs are building that New England aura where every week, from week to week, they in the game, and they could demolish you. So they have to win this game to send a message to the rest of the league.
Thank you.
Okay, they got
Thank
that
you.
win, but that's it.
Well,
They're not getting no more.
And a lot of it was just mistakes on our part.
Yeah.
Ward getting burnt by a guy, it was just a mental mistake too. It wasn't necessarily a physical thing to where he's just like, oh, he's just better than me. No,
Yeah.
It was just a
Mental
mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with some of the coverages. You'd had a blown. I think it was one of the touchdowns they had when they were in the red zone. Matthew ended up having to come off his guy and running over there trying to get the guy that came out of the back end. I think it was either Fenton or Hitchens' job to go with that guy. So I mean, just you clean that up, which we're going to. We always do, especially after a bye week like that. Like,
Yeah, and people haven't talked about that at all.
and we usually come out slow this year. We're usually a second half team. I don't think that's going to happen this game. I think everybody's going to be on their P's and Q's and come to. We might have a penalty or two just because everybody's going to be amped up, but
There's nobody better. It might be Bill Belichick, but there's nobody better at scripting plays initially than Andy Reid. And Andy Reid is going to be on his job. He's going to evaluate the defense, what they did, what worked for them, where they lack at, and he's going to pick that apart. You look at every team that we play in the division, it might be close the first time, but the second game, majority of the time, it's a blowout. The only team where it's kind of weird is San Diego.
Yeah.
For some reason, we kind of struggle with them because they're a really good team. They are underperforming. They should be a lot better. They should be in Super Bowl contention every year.
same thing with them every year. They just losing games by a couple points.
Yeah.
So
Phillip
like
Rivers
they got some
going,
type of curse or
and they still
something.
had the same thing. Normally, Phillip Rivers give you 4 or 5 interceptions. And you're like, oh, it's Rivers' fault. That's why they lost that game. It's the same thing even with Hubert, whatever his name is. So, yeah, it's the same thing. But they're going to – it's a mission. This is a statement game, not just to Kansas City. This is to the league. So you win this game and puts you at the top. You have Pittsburgh still up there, but I think if we play today, that we will beat
Their
Pittsburgh.
schedule shows that they're not as good as
Exactly. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, very true, very, very true.
I think it's very deceptive of the schedule they've had, and even those games shouldn't have been as close as back because they have one of the worst defenses in the league. And I think both of y'all right. I think we just didn't take advantage. We wasn't at 100% because that's the thing. Teams have to play to 100% to beat us.
Yeah,
When we don't,
yeah,
we can play at 75 in certain games
yeah,
and come out pretty. Because the Carolina game,
yeah,
no, I would say that's about what 79%,
yeah.
80% at
Yeah.
maximum.
And then with like you said, it was just mental lapses. It wasn't like you got beat. It was blown coverages. Tom, those big plays were literally just God looking around like, dang, I thought you were supposed to be here. And a lack of communication, whatever happened, that's not going to happen this game. Spags is going to dial down his game plan. It's going to be efficient, and we're going to be all right.
Y'all already given y'all predictions in the game, right? What was y'all scores?
I said 20-34.
I said
I'd give them 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals. I'll give them
Okay.
that. But
I'm saying about
one of those
35-21, you know.
You said
somewhere
25-21?
about 35-21, you know. I mean,
I don't
One of those
care.
touchdowns
Y'all-
were trash time.
I don't care. I've had a lot of people talk trash in my last video because it was a Raiders video, obviously, and I was talking trash. I said Raiders fans are trash because they are.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying we dropping 50 on you punks.
Mike,
Dropping a good 5-0. I don't care.
I want to
I
say
feel like because of the lap thing, Andy actually brought that up. He don't really bring up stuff.
yeah,
When
that's
he's
very
usually
true.
the water would duck.
Yeah.
Because 2 games before
What happened
this,
about
it was
that?
a close game. Then we came back and blew them out. Then this
people do
third
what they
game, we don't
do.
let them win.
He's usually that. He was like, no, he took circles around the bus. I mean, that's not what we would have done.
Yeah.
But it's fine. You
That's
won.
what was funny about that,
I'm
too,
like,
is he
that
tried
sounds kind of vengeful in your heart right
Yeah.
He tried to pin that off on the bus driver, and Shannon Sharpton came out and was like, I've played for I don't know how many years, and I had never heard a bus driver say that. I still get on buses. He was like, you know why they don't? Because they don't want to drive around normal citizens. So trying to
Like
get
you
John,
said
like,
last time though, that was their Super Bowl.
you were trying to
So,
hype your team up because
you know what I
the
mean?
Chiefs, who's in your division, who keeps beating you, who just won the Super Bowl, and
Yeah.
you're trying to show your team.
I
Hey,
mean, Carr said-
we're good too. If we can beat them, we can beat anybody. Yeah, let's let
Yeah.
this stadium again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just hear John Gruden's voice at that point in time.
Yeah.
Like,
Like it's so sad.
But Carr said, I mean, he always wanted to win against the Chiefs. He's never won against the Chiefs. That was his main goal. I mean, that was like a goal he set out for. He was hungry for a win against. Never had a win. So he got his one win. Now it's time to shut him down again.
Oh man, that is so sad. Oh.
I can't wait. I know I was mad at that Raiders game. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was one of his best games against us, man. I mean, he threw good balls. I mean,
Oh, it's
good
our
catch.
Hell, they was wide
allowed-
open.
Wide
Like,
open,
wasn't
wide
nobody within
open.
10, 15
We
yards.
allowed to have Carr have his best game of the season because he hasn't had a game since
his
then.
career against
Yeah.
them. I mean,
That was
even
that,
after
after
that
that,
game,
he went
he
up.
has not
He's
even
went
done
up.
anything
He's went up after
As
that.
close as that.
Yeah.
Not even after that game. So it was just like, oh, I did it.
I just had it against one good team.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. This isn't the us of old where we're worried about losing to a crap team. We've beaten crappy teams and good teams. So we shouldn't be on that level of that anymore because that's not our stigmata no more. Everybody's up for grabs.
That's why I say it come down to them linemen, though. You know what I mean? Holding that line.
I mean,
That's
I'm
what it's
never,
all about.
as a traditionalist Chiefs fan, I sometimes didn't even have that mindset. But y'all have convinced me so much of Mahomes and Reed's change of this attitude. This team is different.
Yeah.
This ain't the team of the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Where we this somewhat dope team and we may get a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We that team